It's Monday, the 18th of October, 2021. Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business Headlines, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Morning, Michael.
All right, 5 stories, 5 minutes. Here we go. The Victorian economy is set to partially reopen later this week, while there's even more easing of restrictions in New South Wales from today. But we're also hearing more about the roadmap for overseas travel.
Isn't it about time? Yep. Australia is about to reopen for quarantine-free travel, firstly to Singapore and the South Island of New Zealand. Now, international travel will come in 3 phases. Australians returning, number 1, then students and priority workers, and then tourists. Hopefully by Christmas, we'll all be able to go overseas. In Victoria, from Thursday night, there'll be an easing of restrictions. That's great news. No travel limits, curfews, more people in houses. Premier Daniel Andrews said despite increases in numbers, there weren't the proportionate increases in hospitalisations. That's really good. Restrictions are being eased in New South Wales from today. Community sport, gyms, indoors, drinking, seated and standing, all sorts of things. Really good news all around. You really do get the feel, Michael, that the economy is starting to reopen for good.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. On to story number 2 and markets. They were pretty hot over the weekend.
Sure, well, the local market finished the week really strongly, up 0.7% and gained about 0.5% for the week. The Aussie dollar starts the week above 74 US cents. That's pretty good compared to where it's been the last couple of months. Brent crude oil is above 85 US dollars a barrel. That's really high. Bad news if you're buying petrol, of course, though. Gold's high, and Bitcoin, it's heading towards a new record. Now, it's measured in US dollars. It's at about 62,000 US dollars a unit. That's up 40% this month.
That's extraordinary. That's story number 2. Now on to story number 3, one of my favourite topics, as always, the housing market. I'd say the housing market is back full steam, but to be fair, it's never really slowed down that much. It was a very busy weekend, Sean.
Incredible. Hot, hot, hot. Now, in Melbourne, it was the busiest auction weekend this year. In Sydney, the number of places sold, which they call the preliminary clearance rate, was 85%. That's the best since autumn and certainly the best this current spring selling season. Across the country, almost 3,000 homes went up for auction and 82% were sold. This is across the whole country. Canberra, Perth, Adelaide, Sydney all hit clearance rates higher than 80%. Melbourne was just under 80%. I think the fact that the Prudential regulator last week came and said they're going to change what they call the serviceability buffer, making it just slightly more difficult to get a loan, and threats that there'll be more of that type of action from the regulator, has triggered a surge in people trying to buy now before those new rules kick in.
Okay, Sean, story number 4. I'll start with a question for you. Are you a golfer?
I'm a bit of a guy. I like golf, but I'm not very good.
Well, you will like this then. New research launched by the Australian golf industry says the sport can take advantage of the phenomenal growth in activity during COVID-19. 9 million Australians, can you believe it, are interested in golf.
That's pretty staggering, really. But I suppose during lockdowns, there wasn't a lot else to do. That report is a collaboration of several peak groups in the game. And while 9 million are interested, 2/3 haven't actually played the game. And so that's an opportunity as far as golf is concerned. The big challenge is to get more women and girls involved. And a key to growth is just to make it shorter, create a shorter form of the game. Playing 9 holes can take 2 hours, 18 holes can take 4 hours, too long. Also improve public facilities. Problem, of course, for golf is that there is so much competition out there. Now, according to Sports Australia, the most popular sport is walking, then gym, then swimming. Running comes in at number 4 and then cycling. Golf is number 10, Michael, just ahead of yoga.
Okay, story number 5, Sean, and of course you would be able to find a business angle to the hottest show going around at the moment, Netflix's Squid Game.
Yes, Squid Game is a Netflix mega hit, which according to Bloomberg News has created around $900 million US in value for Netflix. Now, remember, these streaming services, they rely on people paying a fee every month. That's how they make their money. Netflix can tell why you subscribe, and nothing has worked as well as Squid Game, which, of course, is the Korean violent show, which is the hottest thing on Netflix at the moment. All in all, Squid Game is worth, as I said, $900 million US to Netflix. Not bad.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it? All right, that's it. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thanks, Michael.
It's Monday, the 18th of October, 2021. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if you're after something a little bit longer with a bit more detail, you can find our longer podcast called Fear and Greed on your podcast platform. You can also find more info at fearandgreed.com.au and sign up for our free daily newsletter. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fear and Greed Business Headlines. Have a great day.